And we are moving on to the topic of the week, the topic of the month, potentially the topic of the year if you're a Marvel fan. That is Captain America: Civil War.
Definitely, yes. So, I mean, what? We've got the movie now.
We both really like it. We both really like it. We really, really, really like it.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, the movie's out. It's got like 94% on Rotten Tomatoes. I mean, I think everyone likes it. That was the general consensus.
Yes, I believe we as a website gave it a 9.
Yes, yeah, we did. We gave it 90. I mean, we were under the average, but yeah, no, I mean, we liked it. I think it's safe to say. And I mean, we had our discussion thread where we were we had a discussion last week, last podcast, where we were talking about, you know, the different characters, who we thought would come out on top. Who do we think? This will all be spoiler free, by the way. But like, who do we think came out on top?
Spider-Man.
For Civil War. Spider-Man?
Spider-Man, easily.
Why is that?
You saw the film.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree. I just, personally for me, I think Scarlet Witch and Vision came out on top.
Vision in a jumper. Vision in a sweater.
He looked disturbingly like my dad, actually. But no,
Your dad is your dad is a hyperdimensional being?
Nah, but he's a sweater wearer.
Oh, I see.
Anyway, no, I mean, I feel that, like, Spider-Man kicked unbelievable amounts of ass.
Damn right.
Like, you know, and Black Panther was really cool as well. But, like, Scarlet Witch and Vision really, like, the Russo brothers made something of them in that movie. Where previously, like, they didn't have to do that. Like, Spider-Man had to kick ass. Black Panther had to kick ass, because they're getting their movies later. But, like, Scarlet Witch and Vision have so much potential to be really great supporting characters. And they really did something with them in that movie. So, yeah.
It was a good time. It was a good time to be a Marvel fan, and a really good time to be a DC hater.
Yeah,
because this just shines a light on how bad Batman v Superman is.
Oh man, I would have given. I mean, you gave Batman vs Superman. What was it?
I gave it a 6, and that mark is going down every day.
Yeah. No, I mean,
I really am considering going back and remarking it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you're allowed to do that. Anyway, no, I mean, like, I would have given that a lower score. Like, when I reviewed Fantastic, which was a Josh Trank, but like, I would give Batman vs Superman less than that, because at least Fantastic didn't take much. No, at least Fantastic had the courtesies to be shorter than Batman vs Superman.
There is that. That is a very valid.
There was
point.
no difference between them in any way except that one thing. It didn't take up my time. Batman vs Superman made me sit there for like the entire duration of the movie, bored out of my mind.
Did you stay to the end of the credits expecting something?
No, I didn't. I left. I didn't care.
I did. There was nothing
Really?
at the end of the credits.
I knew that there was nothing. They actually said that beforehand. But anyway, like, so we're agreed DC's universe is completely in the toilet, but what about Civil War? I mean, Civil War was everything that Batman vs Superman wanted to be. Where does the Marvel Universe go from there?
To space? Well, I mean,
Well,
they are. We've got Guardians. We've got a new Guardians.
Yeah.
We've got Captain Marvel coming up.
Yes, Captain Marvel. Is that like, I heard a rumor, and I think it's like partially confirmed, that Guardians of the Galaxy 2 will be like set on Earth in part. So like part of it will be on Earth.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of.
If it is
I'm
only
not
in
okay
part,
with that.
if half an hour of that movie is on Earth, I'm okay.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like Guardians is a great space opera. And I just don't want it to be on Earth, because that's what I've got Captain America Civil War and the Avengers and then, you know, I mean, okay, in Infinity Wars, yeah, but like, I liked it in space. But Captain Marvel, like, I really want to see Captain Marvel in space.
And I think it will be in space. That is her domain, I believe. That's her main area.
Well, Carol Danvers is from Earth. Carol Danvers, who is, I mean, it's confirmed that they're not doing the male Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel in this one will be Carol Danvers from the comics, who's female, who got her powers from Mar-Vell, who's actually rumoured to be not Chris Pratt, Star-Lord's father. Okay. So that's a kind of nice little, you know, crossover they've got going there, if it's true.
Who's the old actor that joined the Guardians cast? Was it Kurt Russell?
Yeah, Kurt Russell. He's rumoured to be Star-Lord's father.
Yeah,
you know,
I think I'm really up for that.
Yeah, I'm down for that as well.
Having recently watched The Hateful Eight again.
Yeah, Hateful Eight. Yeah,
and Escape from New York.
Oh yeah, you did the Tarantino marathon.
I did. I did 5. Yes. I did 5 movies.
Yeah.
But
anyway, so yeah, I mean, like, we have Black Panther, we got Thor Ragnarok's coming out, and there's almost nothing about that.
I'm not excited for that.
Yeah, I mean, there was the initial announcement that Hulk was going to be in Thor Ragnarok with Thor, and then there's kind of nothing. Like, all the press, all the, hubbub just completely died out. Like, nobody's talking about it now.
The only thing about that movie, it'll make money if Loki's in it.
Oh, Loki is in it. I mean, he's confirmed to be in it.
He better be in a lot of it.
Then again, that didn't save Dark World. I mean, Thor the Dark World had a lot of Loki in it, but still a bad
we need
movie.
a lot of Loki, like, him being the bad guy, like the actual bad guy.
Well, I mean, I think in the Ragnarok comics, I mean, it's, yeah. I mean, I just, like, there was the comment that, we spoke about it briefly last week, where, Kevin Feige was like, Phase 4 and beyond. Like, at the end of Phase 3, there's gonna be a Phase 4. Beyond. No, at the end of Phase 3, there's gonna be a Phase 4. Like, after Infinity Wars, there is actually more. So, the question is, like, after Civil War, do you feel any differently? Like, now that we know that Civil War was really good, and we love Spider-Man and all the new characters that they introduced, how do you feel about the fact that there is a Phase 4?
I don't know. I still think... I stand by my comments on the last podcast that I do want the Marvel Cinematic Universe, as we know it, to end with the Infinity War, and for them to go in an entirely different direction after, or just to stop.
So, but you do, like, what would count as a different direction? I mean, like, for me personally, I don't mind more Marvel movies after Infinity Wars, but I'd like to see a shake-up.
Me neither.
Like,
I
don't want to see more Iron Man movies.
No.
Or I don't want to see more Captain America movies. Like, I want...
Exactly.
Captain Marvel, like if they did a trilogy of movies about Captain Marvel, or if they introduced like completely new characters, or
if they got the rights back of Fantastic Four.
Yes, actually that would be a perfect time to introduce Fantastic Four, especially because like Infinity Wars will unite the cosmic side of the Marvel universe
Definitely
with the Earth side. That would be the ideal time to do Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
And they'd be introduced into a world where there are already superheroes, so that would actually be perfect.
That's exactly what I want. I want Fox to make a wise business decision and do what Sony did and give the character away for some of the money.
To be fair, Sony didn't give the character away. That's a lot of people seem to think that Sony like just gave away the rights.
Well,
actually,
I know they didn't.
No money. What?
They still distribute it.
Well, no, they actually retain final creative control. Which means if Sony say we don't like it, then Marvel can't do anything about that.
Huh.
So, yeah, like, for example, Civil War, all Spider-Man screens was pre-screened with Sony to double-check they were okay with it. And a lot of journalists were just like, that's ridiculous, because, Sony have been ruining Spider-Man for years now. Like, why do they get final say in Marvel's product? But, yeah, and like, the Spider-Man movie is still... I mean, Kevin Feige and, who's the other woman at Marvel? Anyway, they're actually producing, but they're not... like, final stay with everything still rests with Sony. And so, I wouldn't want that deal for Fantastic Four with Fox, because, like, I feel that Sony, in some way, have an understanding about what makes Spider-Man successful.
They have made two very good Spider-Man movies.
Well, I think at, like, a really basic level, they know what market they want to appeal to, and that's pretty much the beginning and the end of what they ever decided. But with Fox, I don't even think they know what to do with Fantastic Four. I genuinely think they just have no idea how to market Fantastic Four. Yeah.
I think. Do you think Sony, for the people who made Spider-Man 3 and Amazing Spider-Man 2, because of all the flack they got for it, there's too many characters, it'll never work, and then they look at Civil War, and they go, it's Spider-Man, but there's loads of the other characters. Wait, why does this work?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think DC's looking over the fence and going like, everyone was like, there's too many characters in Batman vs. Superman, and it's true, the cameos felt really forced, I'm still not really clear as to why Wonder Woman was in that movie. I mean, she could have been replaced with anyone. And it was
you really could have with absolutely anyone.
Yeah, you could replace her with any character from the DC universe, absolutely anyone, and it wouldn't have mattered. So why did they use Wonder Woman? But like,
Because she sells tickets.
Not even. I mean, most people are there for Batman or Superman.
It's the first
who
one.
the
It's the
hell
first
was
Wonder
there?
Woman movie. There would have definitely been people.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, that's really why I think she was in there, to set up Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
That, like, the movie. I don't think that, she was there. But anyway, like, the point is that everybody's looking at Marvel's formula, and I'm just like, I don't understand why everyone can't see that it's because Marvel have the best scripts, and they write their characters perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
They're actual people. Whereas, like, with Wonder Woman and especially with Superman and with Batman in Batman v Superman, like, they just felt like cardboard cutouts of people.
Yeah.
They didn't feel real. And like, when I look at Vision, who is, as you said, a synthetic guy from, like, another dimension who's half robot, half human, I actually feel like he's a real person. Like, when I watch the movie, he feels like a real person with
That's
feelings
just how
that I
amazing
care
Paul
about.
Bettany is as a person.
Yeah, true. But, like, I mean, that's also the script, you have to admit.
Yes, of course.
I mean,
I always say, when people say, what is the best superhero movie, I really can't think of anything beyond Iron Man because of how much it accomplished.
Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy, for me, I mean, like, a lot of people have been having this conversation lately, and for me, personally, Guardians of the Galaxy encompassed everything that makes Marvel movies so good. Like, it was funny.
It's a really good Marvel movie, but I don't think it's like a superhero movie.
That's true. I mean, like, if there was one complaint about Guardians, it's less
apart from
very
Groot,
space
there's no
opera-y.
superheroes. Groot is the only one with, like, superpowers.
I don't know. I mean, like, Gamora and Rocket are, like, cybernetically enhanced. So, like, in that way, one could have the argument. And, I mean, again, like, Star-Lord is kind of half whatever he is. Yeah, half something. So, spoilers if you haven't seen Guardians of the Galaxy, which we all know you have. But, I mean, like...
I really hope he's half, like, something like...
Well, if his dad
naked
is...
mole rat.
if Star-Lord's dad, though, is actually, like, Captain Marvel, like the original Captain Marvel, then he will actually be half Kree, which is a bit weird when you think about it. Unless they change the origin of Captain Marvel, which I think they probably will. But, I don't know. I mean, I feel like I am way more confident with Marvel going forwards. Like, into the future, with the rest of Phase 3, we got Spider-Man, we got Black Panther, Captain Marvel, even Thor Ragnarok.
We have
I feel way more confident.
We have more Ant-Man coming.
Yes, Ant-Man and the Wasp. Totally. Like,
Very, very up for that.
I mean, I just feel way more confident with the upcoming Marvel properties, and, like, the opposite is true for DC's universe. Like, Batman vs Superman made me dread Justice League. I'm not gonna watch Justice League. I don't know if you know this, but, like, I've said, like, I'm never gonna watch a Zack Snyder movie ever again. If he's directing it, I'm not watching it. And that's just, like, a thing now, because it's not just Batman vs Superman, obviously. Like, I've been...
That is a very bold statement for somebody who is a journalist.
Yeah, I know, but I'm making that decision as a person, though. Like, I am not watching any more of his movies.
Will you watch them if someone gives you a ticket to a preview screening, a press screening, will you go?
No, I sat there for 2.5 hours, bored out of my mind.
But if you go there and you don't have to pay?
I don't care, it's not about money, it's about, like, I could be doing something else. I could go and play video games, I could go pick my teeth out with a toothpick, which would be more fun. I'm done with his movies. Like, I never got to the end of 300, I was so bored.
You didn't miss anything.
Watchmen was so boring that I actually had to, like, walk it around my house while I was watching it on my DVD player, like in my old computer, because it was so boring that I just couldn't sit down and watch it. And, I mean... Like, and it just went on so long.
It did.
Like, Zack Snyder's
really
determined to, like, turn me into an old woman watching these things. So no, I'm not seeing Justice League Part 1 and 2 because he's directing them. If they don't refuse to remove him as director, which they're I mean, I'll see Wonder Woman. I'll see The Flash. I'll see, Green Lantern and all of their other... because he's not directing them. But I'm just not seeing his movies anymore.
We have to stop talking about this because I'm going to die laughing.
Why? You saw Batman vs Superman.
I know,
You've
but I'm
seen Zack Snyder's movies.
I know, but I'm not abandoning journalistic intent for the.
Well, I can palm all the reviews off on you.
I know, but like, I do not subscribe to the belief that you have to see something to firmly criticize it.
I'm not going to criticize any of his movies anymore. I'm just not watching them.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I am making that decision, like, not critically as a journalist. I'm saying as a person, I'm not watching his movies anymore. They're terrible.
Oh, okay.
I mean, like, if somebody makes one bad movie, that's fine. I'll watch it again. But if somebody just has never made a good movie, why would I keep watching? Anyway, like...
the Dawn of the Dead remake is good.
I've never seen that one.
Dawn of the Dead remake is very good. And you know who wrote it?
Zack Snyder?
James Gunn.
James Gunn. Oh, that's where I know it from. Yes, I was looking at James... Anyway, yeah. No, so...
Isn't
like,
that weird?
We got completely...
Two people working on the same... On a remake of a classic movie. One of them went off to be a star director in the Marvel universe, and one of them to be
a not-so-star director in the DC
Annoyingly,
universe.
he is the star. He is basically the star of Batman v Superman. It's Zack Snyder.
Yeah, but like the Dark Star. He's the black hole. What is it? He's the black hole.
We have to stop talking about this because we are going to run out of time. And if you are wondering why we have not talked more about Civil War, there's a very good reason for that, because we will be doing a special 25-minute spoiler cast dedicated just to Civil War. Yeah. To the things that happened.
Yes.
And it
will be absolutely spoilerific, so you can go check that out later.
100%. We're not going to spoil anything here. However, there is something we're going to spoil, because we are both English people. We both like television, which means, of course, we watch Game of Thrones.
Well, to be fair, we're humans who live on Earth, and we watch Game of Thrones, because everybody at this point watches Game of Thrones.
Everybody does watch Game of Thrones. I still know people who don't.
Yeah, I still know people who don't, but they're dwindling. Like, they're all people who are going to watch it and just haven't had the time yet. Anyway, so...
We are 100% about to do a spoiler thing on the first 2 episodes of Game of Thrones. So if
this is the last few minutes.
If you have not seen episodes 1 and 2 of season...
stuff and, like, things like that. So, I mean, you know...
But that could have easily just been flashbacks.
That's true, yeah. I mean... Like, I have to admit, in that final scene, where, like, he's lying on the table, I was really worried that he wasn't going to come back to life, just because the scene went on so well. And then, you know, when Ghost, like, lifts up his head and starts, like, being all happy and everything, I was like, oh my god, it's going to happen.
And then he did, and then he woke up.
Yes. Anyway, what else in that episode, though? Like, Tyrion and the Dragons. This is all in episode 2, by the way.
Tyrion and the Dragons. Yes. And the moment, for me, out of all of it, forget Jon Snow being alive,
yeah.
Lord Roose Bolton has been murdered by his bastard son.
Yes! Total deviation from the books.
And I audibly gasped.
Yes, me too. I was watching it with someone else and they gasped as well, which was great.
I thought if anything Ramsay was going to do, he was going to kill the child.
Yeah, I kind of thought that as well. But I mean, that was, oh my god, and when he asks, like, you know, when he's like, send me the mother and the child, and then, you know, they just get ripped apart by those dogs, that was insane! That was great. I mean, I love the shock value that Game of Thrones still has. Yeah. You know? Yeah.
I mean...
In fact, that's something Marvel doesn't have. But yeah, no.
Well, shock value. Doesn't need it.
True, doesn't need it. But Game of Thrones, like, that scene... But Tyrion is going to ride one of those dragons. I want Tyrion to be one of the people who rides it. It will be Daenerys, the, like, slave translator girl, and Tyrion.
Missandei is her name.
Yes, yeah.
Because I am James, learner of names.
And I am Alice, like, describer of people. Anyway,
Alice, lover of malice. It rhymes.
Yeah, there are lots of things my name rhymes with, okay?
I know, but my one rhymed as well.
Oh, I suppose it did.
That's the point. That's the one.
Anyway,
Game of Thrones makes us learn things. What a show!
Like, Melisandre. Also, how do you feel about, like, Melisandre now that she has, like, her faith is kind of taken away from her? Because I think that's kind of cool character.
Well, it's about to be restored.
I suppose
like,
maybe.
in a major way. Because the one person who believed in her was her greatest doubter for 5 seasons. Sir
That's
Davos.
true. That's true. Plus, like, I feel like she's gonna think Jon Snow is actually the person in her visions.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the guy who is this all, you know, the kind of the Lord of Light or whatever.
Yeah, and it could be.
Yeah, maybe.
If we believe the R plus L equals J theory.
Thing. I don't know, I'm not, like, I feel like I love the way that the TV show is kind of a parallel universe to the books now. I really like that. I think that's great.
It's like a game, yeah.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I love that as a fan thing. Like, it would be really easy for them just to, you know, be exactly the same as the books, but, like, they'll never be the same, so I like the way, because, I mean, books always have more information than their adaptations.
Of course.
So I love the way that we have, like, a parallel universe now, like, where Jon Snow is alive, and where, like, a whole host of people who are dead that aren't dead in the books, and some people are alive. I mean, like, all of the stuff that's going on in Dawn at the moment never happened in the books, I don't think.
Yeah, but who cares about Dawn anymore?
I was so sad when that guy died. You know, the guy on the boat?
Prince Martell is dead.
Yeah, I was really sad about that.
Trystane.
Trystane. Yeah, it was Trystane when they killed Trystane. I'm so sad. Yeah. I wanted him to, like, kick ass and get out of there, and then he just got a spear through the back of the head, and I was like, no!
And she went, you're a, you know...
greedy bitch,
you know what?
Yeah.
Alice.
That was a quote.
I know, but still...
Anyway,
we got in trouble for you saying 2 swears last week. You said at least 5 or 6 this time.
I tried. We're talking about Game of Thrones. That's like an 18 certificate.
It's true.
Anyone who left at the beginning, because they don't want spoilers for Game of Thrones, they've got to be over 18.
Can you imagine if those people have stayed? Hello, people who've stayed, you idiots.
Yes. Anyway, that's not fair. They listen to the rest of it. But anyway, so, like, Game of Thrones at the moment is... Where would you rank this season so far? Just the start of it compared to the other seasons?
Better than 5. It's already better than 5.
It's not as good as 4, though. 4 was the one with, like, Prince Oberyn and, you know...
And Joffrey dying.
Yeah, and, like, Tyrion Lannister's trial. Like, you know, I demand a trial by combat. That was just the best scene. Yeah, and the Mountain versus the Viper.
And I believe that was also Sansa and Lysa getting pushed through the moon door.
Yeah, that was that season, wasn't it? Yeah.
What a season 4 was.
Season 4 was the best season of Game of Thrones.
And Arya getting out of Westeros at the end.
Yes,
so many arcs. And Brienne.
Yeah, Brienne of Tarth versus the Hound.
Awesome.
Oh, and the Hound and the Chicken episode. That was actually also in season 4.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, as seen on your social media sites.
Well,
so anyway.
Welcome to Game of Thrones season 4 chat.
So yeah, not many spoilers to be found.
Brienne's appearance in episode 1, saving Sansa Stark, was fantastic. It was amazing.
Yeah, I thought that was
the
really
only
good.
the only like proper bright spark of the season so far.
I feel so sorry for Sansa Stark. Like, what do we think of like Theon? Theon, what the hell is going on in the Iron Islands? Like, who was that guy?
True. It was. I believe it was the king's brother.
Well, I know it was the king's brother because he basically said he was the king's brother, but I've got no idea who he is.
Me neither. Like, and I've read the books.
I know. Like, who the hell was that guy? Was he ever mentioned? Like, I constantly ask myself with Game of Thrones, did I fall asleep and miss that character's introduction?
I don't know. It was very dark and rainy.
Yeah, and he was wearing a hood.
And then he wasn't there at the funeral.
Yeah, and he was a bit crazy. Was he there at the funeral?
I don't think so.
Is he some crazy guy that lives in the tower? It was all very confusing. Also, where is, the guy on the boat?
Gendry.
Yeah, Gendry. Where the hell is Gendry?
I hope he turns up.
And Bran Stark.
I hope they reboot Lost and he just turns up there.
Yeah. Like somewhere on Lost, like you just got a rowboat in the background with like Gendry waving at them.
Just like every HBO show, Gendry's in the background.
Yeah.
He turns up in a new episode of Last Week Tonight or any of the I don't watch HBO. I don't know any other shows.
Girls. With Adam Driver, who is also Kylo Ren, which was very confusing for me when I watched Star Wars. But, like, one more thing, which is Bran Stark. He was right at the beginning of the latest episode, which means a lot of people kind of forgot about him, because the end, obviously, was so amazing.
I forgot. I watched the beginning of episode 2, and I thought, oh yeah, there was none of Bran in episode 1.
Yeah. I mean, like, what do you think of Bran Stark? I mean, there was that thing, like, you won't walk, but you will fly. And everyone's, like, been speculating what that means, and we're, like, no closer to finding out.
Well, it means he's a warg.
Well, yeah.
Well, it means he's just
he's just gonna
warg forever.
Maybe?
Yeah.
That was a bit weird. And we found out, like, Hodor's name was Willis, and that was kind of cute.
You knew that anyway. It tells you in the book.
Anyway.
Tells you in the books.
No spoilers for the books. No spoilers for the books, you.
A guy's name who's been in the show for 5 years is not a spoiler. Hodor.
Anyway.
You know he's a DJ in real life.
Yeah, that's so great. Everyone knows that. He did, like, that tour, which was Rave of Thrones.
Rave of Thrones. That was amazing.
Awesome. Anyway, I think that's it for our spoiler cast. Like, anything else? I think that's pretty much it. I'm just waiting for. I'm desperately waiting for the next episode.
Daenerys is in Vaes Dothrak.
Oh yeah, Daenerys. I love the really bad Dothraki. It was one of life's 5 great pleasures. It was at least in
the 5 best things. It was like,
it's like, what about breaking in a wild horse?
This scene brought to you by Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, no, that's
a really weird departure.
And when they were talking about, like, her hair matching, I won't go into detail because, of course, this is a PG, we are talking about 18 plus content in a PG podcast.
Well, we're talking about if the carpet matches the drapes.
Yes, that's what we're talking about.
Yes,
we're talking about interior design. And that line was awesome.
Okay, we have to stop. Anyway. We really can't go into that.
Okay, no, we can't. Anyway, yeah. Perfect.
I really can't think of anything. I needed to talk about
yes,
because no one at my university watches Game of Thrones.
That's awful. I'm doing engineering and we're all nerdy.
Well, I'm in a music uni. We're all musicians. All of our conversations are all. Well, if you have the flat 9 diminished, it sounds better than if you have an augmented 5th.
We all care about your personal problems, but
I was going to say
people here
every extended musical conversation ends with somebody going. Anyway, here's Wonderwall, and then.
Anyway, so that's it for Game of Thrones. We good?
Yeah.
Oh, Melisandre's old.
Saggy boobs.
Really, really old. How come you can say boobs? Anyway, whatever. Melisandre's old, and what is that necklace that she has? Seriously.
Okay, so I actually have some information about this.
Really?
Okay, so it's vision magic.
Oh,
that might not be.
It's the Mind Stone.
Yeah, it's no, it's not that. It's not that vision. It's not. It is. Do you watch Doctor Who?
No.
Okay. So anyone who watches Doctor Who, this is already a bad example. If you have a TARDIS key and you rearrange its molecules some way, it becomes a what's the name of the word? Deception filter. It's a deception filter. So if you know somebody's there, but your brain wants to look away, it's a deception filter. So this magic is sort of works like that. You see a beautiful woman because she wants you to see a beautiful woman. But she's actually old. I actually think there is no magic making her young. She is just, in fact, incredibly old all of the time. Yeah. And it is just...
That's actually... Oh, that means Stannis, had sexual relations.
And Gendry.
Oh, no, and Gendry as well. Oh,
and
God.
almost Jon.
Yeah, that's nasty.
Yeah.
And also, as a scientist, I confirm this. What is it? As an engineer, I confirm this technology. Anyway, I think we're good then.
I confirm.